Hello. So I'm here making this quick tutorial to answer some questions on this assignment I gave on the speed problems. I got a couple comments. You can see them here, and I mentioned I would do an example. Sorry, Indiana Young. I'm just going to use this one as an example. When you click on your assignment, there should be in the upper corner this open with. Go ahead and click on that and annotate with Kami. Hopefully that works for you. I need to download the app. And if you're not able to do that, you can always, again, just work from this sheet on your own paper. You don't have to rewrite, calculate the speed for a car, so on and so forth. Just do the 3 steps, and I would do them like this. So I'm going to draw, or not mark up, I'm going to draw. And so you come over here, click drawing. I like to use 1 or 2. I'm going to go ahead and use 2. And we'll pick green this time because green is cool. I'm wearing green today. All right. And now wherever this little cross is on the screen, you can write, like right here. You see that? All right. So I'm going to click on eraser and erase that. I'm going to click back on drawing, and my setting should still be 2 in green. Okay. So rewind and watch this again if you're not sure what I did. So clicked on the assignment, clicked open with Kami. I'm into drawing green. I'm going to use the 2. So it's kind of hard writing numbers with this. It takes some practice. Otherwise, it's pretty ugly. So I got a pen that I can write on the screen with. Not everybody will have that ability. So again, you can do it, work it out on your paper the way I'm about to show you. And then you can just, if you want, if you're able to write on here, take an image of that, take a picture of that, and just attach it. Or you can come over here and do text box. In text box, similarly, you just click on the page somewhere, and you can see, like, for instance, let's go through the 3 steps here. Let's list the given and unknown values in this particular question. Calculate the speed for a car. So speed is what we don't know. So I'm going to put speed. I'm going to push equals. You can just put a dash if you'd like. And I'm going to put question mark because we don't know. And a car went north. So that went north tells me we're talking about velocity also because it has direction. 125 kilometers. So I'm going to say distance, D, equals 125. Instead of typing out kilometers, I'm going to put km. And now in 2 hours time, I'm going to push enter, I'm going to put T equals, and time in the problem is 2 hours. So 2, I'm going to put HR as hours. And I can click out of that box. So I've done step 1, okay? So step 1, I'm going to go drawing, was right here. This is step 1. Step 2, in the notes that I gave you, you'll see, is to perform necessary conversions. In this case, we do not need to convert anything. A lot of times you don't. Kilometers per hour, it's just like miles per hour. That is an acceptable unit. So step 2, which was to perform conversions, in this case we don't need to. Now let's write the equation for speed. Now if you've listened to this little 1.5 minute, what I was trying to show was you can rewrite now this formula. So for speed, S equals, the D is up here and there's a line, and the T is down here, so that tells me it's going to be D over T. That's the formula. This was step 2. And the triangle is just to help you remember whether you're going to divide or multiply. That's actually step 3. We skipped step 2 because we didn't need to convert kilometers or the hours. All right, so now we're ready. We're just going to plug in. So speed, again, we don't know, so I'm just going to write S, and that's going to be equal to D over T. So D, the way you write it, is 125 km over T. to HR. All right, that's all. So what I'm going to do here, I don't have an online calculator, although it wouldn't be hard. I'm going to come to my phone. I found my calculator. And what I'm going to do is just the way you plug this in. This is a division problem. So speed is 125. And then I'm going to push the divided sign. 2 equals. All right, and that's my answer, 62.5. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to write S equals 62.5. And we got to keep our units, nothing canceled out. So that's km per hour. Okay, now that's kind of crammed in there, I know. Hopefully you have a little more room than that. It's kind of hard writing on a computer. And also when you do it on your paper, it'd be nice if you just kind of squared or circled that whole box or that answer in. Again, it would look a little nicer than this because I crammed it all in there. But so speed equals 62.5 kilometers per hour. If I was asking for velocity, like for instance, if this said calculate the velocity, how would you do this different? You wouldn't. It'd be the same thing, except that we would add the velocity here instead of speed. We would say it is velocity equals 62.5 kilometers per hour, and we would add north. So remember direction. I know I'm writing all over this, but I just want to show you how you would do it. So velocity, remember the difference between speed and velocity. This entails direction. So since it said it went north, we can say velocity is 62.5 kilometers per hour north. And now that's velocity. Numbers and math are the same. It's more the concept. When we get to talking in particulars about rockets, satellite movement, cars, lasers, they go at a velocity, not a particular speed, you know. So some of these maybe are not things that we would deal with in life, but we hear them in the movies and we see them around and they come across, and now we know that the only difference between speed and velocity is direction. Okay, so hopefully you saw how I did step one. I identified what we know and don't know. And then I wrote the formula. And so there it was, S equals, I'm going to go ahead and erase this real quick because I have Cami. I can do this. And I don't want to go all over Indiana's because it's going to record on hers. We'll use hers as an example. There we go. Oh, okay, I think you get the point. Write the formula. Just in case, let me show you one more thing on this video. Where'd my pen go? Just in case, real quick, let's say you're solving for time. Let's say you knew the speed and you knew the distance, but you did not know the time. Well, the way you use this is now time, the formula would be T equals, and see the D is over the S, right? And so D over the S, and that's what you plug in. So to solve for time, you put the distance in over the speed and do division just like we said. And the third and last one, is what if you are given the speed and the time, but you're not given the distance traveled, okay? So you know the speed, you know the time, but how far did they go for that long? Okay, so maybe they traveled 2 hours at 60 miles an hour, right? For 2 hours. Well, how far did they go? So D equals what? We don't know D, so we're going to have to multiply S times T. So when they're side by side, it's an S times T. So you plug in 60 times 2 is 120, and D equals 120 miles per hour. I mean, just miles, actually. Time crosses out. I hope that helps. I just wanted to show you a little bit about rearranging the equation. I got to clear this up so a student can do their work on it. And you guys have a fantastic day. Let me know if there's any more questions, all right?